Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bahrain Now. Tonight's episode is filled with amazing talents as we highlight one of the country's greatest pioneers and entrepreneurs. I'm Bara Abdallah, and this is Bahrain Now. So, food trucks are causing quite a scene here in Bahrain. They're definitely taking over the streets of Bahrain. And we gotta admit, getting your food from a truck is very convenient and exciting plan. Our next guest constructs those trucks you see today. So say hello and thank you for this amazing personality, Hussein Khalil. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on your show.
Pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Yes, we do construct the food trucks, and we have initiated the food truck culture in Bahrain, and we commercialized it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And as you can see now, you cannot turn to any corner in Bahrain or
There's a food truck.
there is a food truck. Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, you're known to invent and reinvent several times when it comes to initiativities, creativity, but what made you go to the food truck industry?
What started was a couple of years ago, I read an article in the newspaper that the ministry is actually studying to legalize the food trucks.
Nice.
And to be precise, the mobile trucks in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So as they say, always be ready for an opportunity.
Right.
I believe it was my time and I was ready for it. So I actually went over and started doing my homework and research on
Amazing.
how to build a truck and what are the components for it, how can we legalize it, and how can I help the authorities to see how it can be legalized accordingly and then commercialize it. So that's how it started, and we constructed the first one. And within a span of 8 to 9 months, we had our first food truck CR.
Amazing, amazing. What was the first food truck you ever constructed?
The first food truck we constructed was for one interesting client.
Okay.
She wanted to have mini bites and stuff like that
All right.
on wheels. And basically there were two. One was for coffee and one was for food.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, they are now available on the streets.
Amazing.
And they're serving the Kingdom of Bahrain. And also you can see them a lot in events.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you have mastered the skill of food truck culture, I would say at this point, and the industry of food trucks. But I think you can do more than just food trucks, right? You have a truck, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So what other creative ideas have you done with the truck?
Well, that is the slogan of It's on Wheels.
Right.
My company is called It's on Wheels for a purpose. If you have an idea, if you have a business, why not on wheels?
Exactly.
It's on wheels. That was the whole purpose of It's on Wheels. So we can have anything on a mobile truck. It's
Okay.
not necessarily focused on food. It can be related to, for example, a salon shop on
Wow.
wheels. It can be an office on wheels.
Okay.
It can be mobile, like how we have it right now, a mobile clinic on wheels, mobile testing unit,
Okay.
so on and so
Yes,
forth.
yes,
So
yes.
the general term is mobile truck. Any business can be on wheels.
Beautiful. Is there an idea that you want to see it on wheels, that you feel like, you know, you're waiting for the right client, for him or her to ask you to do?
Absolutely. There is a lot of ideas that I'm looking forward to put them on wheels, especially mobile salon, mobile office,
Right.
a mobile clinic, and so on and so forth. And recently, they are going to launch the mobile office. We have
Nice.
manufactured an office into a van,
Okay.
which can go all over Bahrain, and that is their mobile unit. It has a complete set of laptops, screens, and everything, with its advertising unit at the backside.
Okay.
And it's going to be soon launched in public. And that's how we say mobile trucks. So that's the start. We are going to shift from food into mobile industry.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, so apparently, like when somebody gives you an idea, it depends on the idea itself, right? Or is there an average of how long we'll construct a truck?
Normally, that's a fantastic question. Normally, when someone gives us an idea, we tell the client we will take a couple of days
Okay.
to study the idea and understand it. And then we come back after doing our homework. Be it a new concept which is available as an activity in the ministry,
Right.
as a commercial registration,
Right.
or even if it is not there, what are the criteria for legalizing it so that the client can implement it and we can manufacture it,
Amazing.
and then they can be out in the market. Because if the client grows and the client is successful, we have done our job perfect to the
Beautiful,
maximum.
beautiful. Now, with the trucks and all of that, and the pandemic taking place last year with 2020, all of a sudden, food trucks were like everywhere, right? They were like superheroes, and giving us that social activity. You're like, oh, we can't go to restaurants, but we can go to that one main road and just choose from amazing, beautiful looking food trucks, and it was a beautiful scene. Now, what do you think of that? I mean, how did you keep up with all that demand?
Well, as they say, there are certain things which are opportunities. Now, what happened last year was, due to the pandemic, everything got shut down marginally, and the food truck demand increased because there is no dine-in. And it was actually part of the social distancing. You just come and pick up your food and leave.
Right.
So the demand sparked and spiked. And we increased the size of our facility,
Okay.
and we were able to meet the demand of Bahrain for the food trucks. And soon after the pandemic, we will go back to exporting our food trucks and
All right.
mobile trucks into the market.
Amazing, amazing. You know, like a lot of my friends and people even you would know, they were like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to open a business right now. I'm going to open my own food truck. As if it's just like an opening account on Google or a Gmail. But it's not really that easy, right? So what goes into opening a food truck or even getting one?
Okay. Opening any kind of business, it's not easy as it sounds, but having your food truck is always better to start with. You build your name in the market because the initial investment is very minimal.
Okay.
You don't need more than 3,000 to 5,000 dinars to start for a food truck.
Right.
And you can actually create a name for yourself in the market and slowly grow it until eventually you will have your own outlet, your own restaurant, your own business. As long as you're testing yourself in the market and you see what are the requirements, how people's tastes change, and you tune it according to your requirements and the people's requirements, and then you can go ahead.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, food trucks, it's been like a culture.
Yeah.
Like whether it's in the States, Saudi Arabia is booming as well, and in Bahrain. Are these different cultures?
Yes, and at the same time, the food truck culture was already there.
Okay.
Let me share a very interesting point with you. Food truck, as more as it is a culture, it has become part of the GDP of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
Beautiful.
It has added value more than 500,000 dinars
That's a
into
lot.
the GDP of Bahrain.
That's amazing.
Today we have on road more than 400 trucks.
Amazing.
So you're talking about 400 plus families who are earning an additional income from the truck. And also the SMEs are the building blocks of any kind of economy.
Right.
So it's a culture in Bahrain which is just started, and it is improving, and they are adding to it. And the most important thing is that it has added a lot to our GDP, which has become a very, very important segment and part of this economy.
It is essential. I mean, food trucks is like becoming like part of Bahraini culture right now. Like you see them in a lot of places, and now even some trucks are even famous. So it's beautiful. Like there are several food trucks that whenever I see them, I feel like, oh my God, I want to go to that place. You know, the vibe is so good. Now, with all that being said, Hussein, what is your advice to the young entrepreneurs, even the one existing right now?
Well, the best advice I can give to the young Bahraini entrepreneurs is don't be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of failure. Find out what you love and do it to the maximum. If you're going to start, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start it. Knowing what you want and what is your purpose, it's very easy in theory, but how you're going to implement it and not being afraid of failure is the most important thing. Even if you fail, you should know that every step you fail is another step to success. So all the best. And also, if you want to start your mobile business, you can always contact me, Hussein Khalil. My business is It's on Wheels.
All right.
And I believe that's enough advice for them.
There you go, man. There you go.
Absolutely.
So what's the future of food trucks? What do you see happening for Bahrain?
Well, the future of food trucks is that according to the new rules and regulations, as I can see, they are building specific locations and specific areas dedicated for the food trucks and the mobile trucks. So there is a whole family-friendly and dine-in areas being built dedicated to the food trucks,
Right.
which is actually organizing this kind of industry, and it is actually making it grow for the economy. And sooner or later, we are going to see in the near future exchange of food trucks between our neighboring countries.
Wow.
A food truck which is successful over here can
Okay.
cross the causeway and be somewhere in Kuwait and be
That's
somewhere
amazing.
in Saudi and so on and so forth. So this is actually having a lot of future, and it is going to grow and boom in other aspects.
I can only imagine. I can see you right now having a lot of influence into that matter.
Absolutely.
Beautiful
absolutely.
things. Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan, for being with us here on Bahrain Now.
Thank you very much for having me, and hope to see you soon.
Definitely.
Done.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have an idea, you want it on wheels, you got Hassan Khalil for it. Stay tuned for more happening here on Bahrain Now.